Sadi Gura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, sorry. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hribo, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hribo, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva Jaya Subhanja. Jaya Kishore Kishoni Jaya Kishore Kishoni Jaya Kishore Kishoni Jaya Kishore Kishoni Jaya Kishore Jaya Kishore Kishore Jaya 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 Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada
consciousness purified by the raising of anything as though it's mouth. Watchman towards lotus feet, as a perfection towards all desires. He opens my darkened eyes. What is the transcendental sound vibration? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Givaradari Jasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jayam Vishnupad Pranamam Saparivrajacharya Shaturshri Shri Maharaj Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Raj Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki Samveda Bhakta Vrinda ki Go Premanandi All glories to the Summon devotees All glories to the Summon devotees All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga What verse is that? 50? 38. Okay. Sorry I didn't come this morning. I was having breathing troubles all throughout the night, so I went to sleep at 4:30. Sorry I didn't come. That's why I didn't come this morning. Where are we at? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sochirat Evarajarshe Sadyachuta Katashraya Shunvata Shadadhanasya Nityadhasya Adhiyata Sochirat Evarajarshe Yadachuta Katashraya Shunvata Shadadhanasya Nityadhasya Radiyataha. Sochirat Ivarajarshe Mother. Suchira Rajarshi Sada Chutakadashayaha Jumatan Sakatayasya Saha that Achirat very soon Eva certainly Rajarishe O best of kings Sat becomes Achyuta of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Kata narrations Ashrayaha depending on Shinvata of one who is hearing Shadadhanasya faithful Nityada always Syat becomes Adhiyata by cultivation. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: O best of kings, one who is faithful, who is always hearing the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always engaged in the culture of Krishna consciousness and in hearing of the Lord's activities, very soon becomes eligible to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. Purport: constant engagement in the transcendental loving service of Vasudeva means constantly hearing the glories of the Lord. The principles of Bhakti Yoga, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vadanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, are the only means by which perfection can be attained. Simply by hearing of the glories of the Lord, one is elevated to the transcendental position. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Agyantamirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Umlitamina Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanyam Manobhishtam Stapitamina Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchukapturubhyascha Kripa Sindhubirevacha Patitadam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So up until this point, Srila Narada Muni has explained the nature of the conditioned souls, the nature of the souls and conditioned life, and the futility of material existence. So now, in the verses that he's speaking, and verses that are coming up, he's recommending getting out of the material existence by means of devotional service. By cultivation of bhakti, then one can come out of the material existence. So that's what Narada Muni is speaking now. He's advising one to cultivate bhakti. Bhakti amam abhijananti yavam yash chasmi tatutaha tato mam tatato gyatva vishate taranantaram. By bhakti, by devotional service to Krishna, then one can understand Krishna, and by understanding Krishna, one can enter into the kingdom of God. So the purpose of human life is to cultivate bhakti. That is the purpose of human life. There's no other purpose for human life. If one is not engaged in cultivating bhakti, then there's animal life. Even if he is Jnana Yogi, Ashtanga Yogi, it is basically animal life because they're negligent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is the cause of our bondage in the material world. So without giving up the offense to the personality of Godhead by cultivation of bhakti, then our Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, other means of transcendental realization is simply an exhibition of false pride because we're not giving up the offense which has brought us to the material world. Only by bhakti are we showing Krishna that we're giving up our offensive mentality. So by bhakti, one can come out of the material existence. That's what Srila Narada Muni is saying here. So then, that bhakti begins with hearing about Krishna. Bhakti begins with the process of Shravanam. So in this verse, he's particularly pointing out the process of hearing about Krishna. If one is, it says here, taking shelter, ashrayaha means to take shelter, of Achyuta Katha. If one takes shelter of the Katha that's glorifying Lord Achyuta, Shrinvata, hearing that Katha with Shradadhanasya, hearing that Katha with faith, not just simply sitting and pretending to hear, so that we can get that trophy that I heard from Guru. Everyone wants that trophy that I heard nicely. Material existence means collecting trophies. Oh, you are very nice, you are very responsible, you are very beautiful, you're a very good singer. We want all these trophies from people, isn't it? And we can put on the, the shelf of our heart, all our trophies. I used to be a chess player. So, I would go to tournaments, I would win trophies, and you had a place in your room for all the trophies you collected. So material conditioned life means collecting trophies. So if you're hearing just for collecting a trophy, that is not hearing. You have to hear with actual faith. And also, nityada means always hearing. Hearing with faith and always hearing. Adiyata, if you cultivate your Krishna consciousness in this way, taking shelter of Achyuta Katha with faith and always hearing, then achirat, he's saying, then very soon you will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. So he's pointing out this process of hearing about Krishna. So this hearing about Krishna is very important. Hearing with faith. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what is that? Ashadadhana purusha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapyamam navartante mrityu samsaravartmani. That if those persons are not having faith in this bhakti dharma, dharmasyasya means bhakti, because in the previous verse Krishna was glorifying pure devotional service. What is that verse? Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram Idam Uttamam, Pratyaksha Savargamam Daryam, Susukam Kachamam. He was glorifying bhakti in that verse. So he says, those who don't have faith in this bhakti dharma, then aprapyamam, they obtain material existence. Mritu samsara vartmani. Again, they'll take birth in the material world if they don't gain faith in this bhakti. So this bhakti dharma, prema dharma, or Lord Chaitanya's movement is also called the prema dharma movement. Then that bhakti develops by beginning with the process of hearing. Nitya siddha Krishna prema sadhu kabunoi shravana adi shuddhachite karayayudoi. That in the heart of all the jivas there is Krishna premas residing. And in order to unlock that Krishna prema in the heart, then shravana adi, beginning with hearing, and the adi means other processes of devotional service, kirtan, smaranam, etc. Beginning with hearing, that bhakti can be unlocked. So this hearing is very important. So we'll just talk about hearing for a little bit, hearing about Krishna. So I have some Bhagavatam books because we should understand about the hearing process from Srimad Bhagavatam. Because when Mahaprabhu appeared on the bank of Godadesh, this comes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita description. When he appeared on the bank of Godadesh, his appearance was likened to the rising sun and moon simultaneously with Nityananda Prabhu. And so when the sun rises in the sky, then two things happen. Darkness is removed and the nature of objects are revealed, right? Those two things happen. When there's darkness, you cannot see what is what. So when the sun rises, darkness is removed and the nature of objects are revealed. Oh, there's Bhakta Dhruv, there's Baladev. Just like in the ashram, so many brahmacharis are on the floor, especially festival time. You don't know who is who. Then the light comes on. Oh, there's Bhakta San, so like that. You can see. So darkness is removed and the nature of objects are revealed. So it's describing Mahaprabhu, the sun of Mahaprabhu and the moon of Nityananda Prabhu arose on the bank of Godadesh. Then the darkness of cheating was dissipated. Dharma prochita kaitavatra. The cheating dharma, kaitava dharma, was dissipated. What is the kaitava dharma? Approaching Krishna for dharmartha kama moksha, approaching Krishna for mukti and bhukti. This is all cheating. Pretending to play Krishna, but in the heart you wanting bhukti, you wanting mukti. That's cheating. Duplicity. Without surrender, then whatever bhakti we're doing is simply duplicity. Real bhakti means surrender has to be there. There must be sharanagati. Otherwise, there's no bhakti at all. Just a cheating program. Krishna looking very devotional, but in the heart wanting bhukti or mukti, wanting trophies. I am number one in everything. We want that trophy. That's cheating religion without Sharanagati. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in his first song of Sharanagati, Mahaprabhu came with his associates in order to teach us Sharanagati. Otherwise, there's no question of bhakti without surrender. So Mahaprabhu, the sun of Mahaprabhu rose up, and the moon of Nityananda Prabhu rose up, and they dissipated the darkness of Kaitava Dharma. Cheating religion that makes one approach Krishna for bhukti and mukti, and then they revealed something very special. What did they reveal? Two things they revealed. Does anyone remember? You only speculate, you don't know. Two things they revealed. You remember? Anyone remembers? They revealed two types of Bhagavatas. Let's mention. First chapter, you read it. Two types of Bhagavatas they revealed. The book Bhagavata and the person Bhagavata. Those are the revelation they gave. So to take shelter of Bhagavatas, the book Bhagavatam and the person Bhagavatam, is to actually take shelter of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, because that was their revelation. And no one has revealed the glories of the Bhagavata as profoundly as the Gaudiya Sampradaya. It is not that other Sampradayas do not accept Bhagavatam. They accept Bhagavatam. And it's not that there are not that there are not other Bhagavatas in other Sampradayas. There are certainly other Bhagavatas in other Sampradayas. But the glories of the Bhagavatas, book Bhagavatam and person Bhagavatam, their power has not been revealed to the world as profoundly as the revelation has come in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, particularly by Srila Prabhupada single-handedly, to be real. Because before Srila Prabhupada, so many far-out statements was coming in the Bhagavatam, and everyone would be doubting if it is true. The glories of pure devotees, the glories of the Bhagavatam, hearing it. You know, no one even was hardly knowing about it outside of India. Srila Prabhupada single-handedly was proving the statements of the Bhagavatam true. And probably because of Srila Prabhupada, so much glory is coming to other Sampradayas because of Prabhupada. That is the power of the Gaudiya Sampradaya, the devotees of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. So we'll look to Bhagavatam to hear about hearing a little bit. So Krishna is also told in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 13, when he was describing how different persons can realize the super soul. You know, chapter 13, he talks about Kshetra, Kshetragya, the super soul, the knower, the body, the knower of the body, which are two types, the soul and the super soul. Then he describes the super soul elaborately, and then he describes how to realize that super soul within the heart. Then he gives Ashtanga yoga processes. He gives some other processes. And then he says this verse, a very important verse in the chapter 13, 26th verse, Anye tve vama jananta, shutadne bhya upasate tepi, cha atitanantyeva mrityum shruti parayana. So he says, and there are others, after speaking about Ashtanga yoga and other processes which are very impossible to do in Kali Yuga. They're very impossible to do because of so many disqualifications. Not delineating them, it's obvious. Anyone, if you have to tell me your dreams for the last week, it'll prove so many disqualifications are there. If you tell the dreams, someone may think, I am very qualified, bhakta. Then what was your dream last night? You cannot say. There's so much disqualifications for all these other processes. So then Krishna says there are others who are ajanata. Ajanata means they're ignorant. They have no qualifications for spiritual life. So the verse refers to us. Prabhupada says this is particularly applicable in Kali Yuga. Shrutva anebhya upasate. But they begin to worship the Lord. Upasate means they worship. They begin to worship the Lord by hearing about the Lord from others. Does it sound familiar? Because they hear about the Lord from others, they begin to worship the Lord. And they also, atitanantyeva, they can also cross over mrityum, the path of birth and death. How? Shruti parayanaha, because of their tendency to hear from authority. Shruti parayanaha, because they have a tendency to hear from authority, even though they are janata, they're ignorant, they can also cross over the material nature because of that tendency to hear from authority. This reminds me of a verse. Tepi vadanti atitananti chadeva mayam Shri Shudra Hunashvara Abhipapa Jiva Yadabuta Kramaparayana Shila Shiksha Tiryagjana Apikem U Shutadharanaye. There's another verse in the Bhagavatam where it says that if one wants to cross over the Deva Mayam, Atitananti Chadeva Mayam, Atitananti, same word comes. They want to cross over the material energy. people who are low-born, Stri, women, Shudras, Huna Shubara, Prabhupada, Mongolians. Mongolians was mentioned, and Siberians, I think, was mentioned also. Anyway, it's not like he's trying to point out a particular culture. Api Papa Jiva, anyone else I missed? Other sinful jivas, Api Papa Jiva. Everyone qualifies, makes the list. Don't worry, we all made the list. Api Papa Jiva, ya Dalbhuta Kramaparayana Shila Shiksha. If they shall take shelter of the Shila and the Shiksha, the character and the instructions of those who have taken shelter of Krishna. Abhuta Kramaparayana means those who have taken shelter of Krishna, the devotees, pure devotees of Krishna. Devotee means pure devotee of Krishna. If they shall take shelter of their character and their instructions, then Tiryajna, even animals can cross over the material existence. It says even animals. Tiryajna means even the animals can cross over, the birds and the bees. Apikam u shrutadharanaye. So if even the animals can cross over, then would it speak of those who are shruta dharana? Shruta dharana means one who is holding a shruta in his heart. We were hearing this. Shruta dharana means shruta dharana means one who holds the shruta in his heart. Not a very easy thing to do. Shruta dharana, isn't it? I think Prabhuji was mentioning, he will hold this air like this. So if you hold this air like this, it will go like this. It will ricochet off the wall back out. Okay, can't go out this exit, go out this exit. We have no desire to hear from authority, no taste for hearing. So if you are Shruta Dharana, that means it goes in the air and into the heart. Then easily you can cross over Maya. If even the birds and beasts can cross over, then what to speak of those who are Shruta Dharana? So Krishna said this thing. For those who are Ajanata, then they can cross over Maya by development of prema, pure Krishna consciousness. Yasyam vai shushamananyam Krishna paramapurushe bhakti upatite pumsa shoka moha bhayapaha. This is in Vyasadev's meditation. He says, Yasyam vai shushamananyam, for those who shall take shelter of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, which glorifies Krishna, who is a Paramapurusha, the supreme Purusha amongst all the Purushas, then Bhakti Upadite Pum, then that Bhakti, Prema Bhakti will sprout up in the heart, pure love for Krishna. And what is the evidence of that? Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. There would be no more lamentation. There would be no more confusion. Kali Yuga is an ocean of confusion, isn't it? Even after you join the Krishna consciousness movement, isn't it? Only for the first 2-3 years it's very nice. Then as you stick around longer and longer, so many fall down, so many bewildering things happen. Then you get confused. It's very confusing. Shoka, moha, bhaya. And you'll be free from fear. Apaha means these will all be destroyed. When you hear about Krishna Paramapurusha, and that bhakti shall sprout up in the heart from hearing, then this will be the test. So many tests in Krishna consciousness. No one has to give you a certificate. Oh, you are a very nice Krishna conscious bhakta. No one, you can know for yourself how much I'm lamenting, how much am I bewildered, how much am I free from fear. You yourself can know. So then, using the process of hearing as representative of all the 9 processes of devotional service, Sutta Goswami spoke about the development of bhakti, how bhakti develops in the Bhagavatam in chapter 2 of the first canto. I actually forgot to bring the first canto. I was forgetting one canto. Anyway, and he's giving hearing process as representative of all the 9 processes of devotional service. He speaks about how one comes to the point of pure love of Krishna by the process of hearing. These verses are famous. Some of you must be knowing some of them. He begins with the verse Shushusho, Shradanascha, Vasudeva Kata Ruchi, Shamaha Sivaya Vipra Punyatita Nishevana. That verse is famous. Everyone should be knowing that verse, right? These set of verses are very good verses to know. It's like 5-6 of them are there. It just speaks how bhakti develops. So first problem is I have no taste for hearing, isn't it? We have taste for hearing? No, not at all. We have taste for sleeping. So therefore, first test, how do we get taste for hearing? Taste, the word ruchi, taste means faith, shraddha. Because I don't have faith in the efficacy of the process of hearing, I don't get taste for it. Understand? And no faith, I don't get any taste, ruchi. It's like, how effective, we're just sitting down and hearing. So someone comes to us with a maha problem of the material existence, and we say, hear about Krishna. Very disappointed, isn't it? You want something practical, isn't it? We want something practical. They come with maha problem for material existence, big issue, and they took half hour to explain it to you. And you patiently heard them just because you didn't want to make them feel uncomfortable. Or how you say, not loved and all these things. So you patiently heard them. And then you say, you should do Bhagavad Dharma, hearing and chanting about Krishna. Very disappointing in the heart. What type of answer you were giving? And not at all practical. So we have no faith. So therefore we have no taste. So how do we get taste? Bhagavatam says, Shyamaha Sevaya Vipra. First you have to render some service to mahants. If you render service to great souls, by service to them, one begins to evolve faith. Prabhupada teaches, faith develops in the association of sadhus. And then with faith comes the desire to engage in bhajan kriya, do bhajan, which begins with accepting your spiritual master, punya tirtha. Punya tirtha means a spiritual master you accept. And after accepting a spiritual master, it usually follows that one gets eagerness for doing Krishna consciousness. Bhajana spriya is mentioned. Punya tirtha, you accept Guru, he removes, in the time of initiation, he gives divya gyan and he removes sinful reactions, that's what's mentioned. Then you get impetus for doing bhajan, beginning with hearing about Krishna. So then the next verse is there, Shrinvata Swakata Krishna, Punya tirtha nisheva, not Punya tirtha, I reversed the slok. What is the verse? Shrinvata Swakata Krishna, Punya Shavana, Kirtana, Yadantasto, Abhajani, Vidinoti, Surhisatam. Then the next verse. So then they hear Shrinvatan Swakata Krishna, they hear the Kata of Krishna, Punya, which is very pious. Punya Shavana Kirtana, that means transcendental piety, not mundane piety. Punya Shavana Kirtana, Yadantasto, they do that, then Krishna will come situated in the heart and cleanse our heart of all abhadras. Then, what is the next verse? Nashtra Prayeshu, Abrajeshu, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Tuchma Shloke, Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So then, Nashtra Prayeshu, Abrajeshu, when 75% of the abhadras are removed through the process of hearing about Krishna, then one gets bhakti. Real bhakti means nishta. Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki means nishta bhakti. You get nishta. And then that is the beginning of absorption in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, there's no question of absorption. When there are too many anarthas, you're not be absorbed. One day, I'm in ecstasy. I'm so blissed out. And then the next day, I hate Krishna consciousness. I don't know why I joined the movement. And the next day, this is so wonderful. And then you hear about someone fall down. Maybe this process doesn't work. It is always like this, ups and downs when there are bhadras or there, inauspicious things in the heart. But then you come to the platform of fixed, do the process of hearing. Then you become absorbed, fixed up in your determination to attain the lotus feet of Krishna. Then in the next verse, anyone knows? I forgot. You know, Tada, Baba. Yeah, I cannot hear you. Who has a phone? You could. I know the translation. I don't remember the Sanskrit. Kamola badash chaye. Yeah, you can repeat the shloka.
Tada rajasta tamo bhava kama lovadaya chaye cheta etar anavidam stita satve prasiddhiti.
Then what happens after that? The modes of passion and ignorance are decreased. When passion is decreased, it is mentioned when passion decreases, then taste develops, ruchi. Because of too much passion in the heart, there's no taste, right? As soon as the Bhagavatam speakers start speaking something, immediately the mind goes to sense gratification. Prashadam, how I'm going to do this, plan making, how I'm going to do that, how I'm going to sleep after the class, because the speaker keeps speaking too much and it's not breaking my quality sleep in the Bhagavatam class. You know, passionate thoughts are there. So when passion shall decrease, then taste shall evolve. It's mentioned like that. And then, Chaitera tara nalvedam sitam satvam prasiddhiti. Then one comes to the platform of goodness. I think you mentioned like asakti, you get attached to Krishna. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all the verses. In this way, one comes to the perfectional stage. Evam prasana munayo, bhagavad bhakti tatuta, bhagavad yoga, bhakti yoga tatuta, bhagavad jnana vijnana, I forget, I'm forgetting. So those shlokas I haven't remembered in a long time. Then evam prasana manaso, one becomes fully joyful. That means bhav bhakti. You become fully joyful in Krishna consciousness. And then you begin to, Bhagavat Tattva Vijnana, you get to experience Krishna, seeing him face to face. Then you get to experience his sweetness like this. 14 stages are mentioned by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, all coming through the process of hearing. Can you understand what I'm saying? It's easy to understand, right? This hearing is very important. Simply by hearing of the glories of the Lord, one is elevated to the transcendental position. So that is described very nicely in that section of verses of the Bhagavatam. This hearing, Mahaprabhu accepted as the real means of getting out of the Maya. When he was speaking to Ramananda Roy, Ramananda Roy suggested so many things as sadhanas for attaining the goal of life. Varnashram, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti. And Mahaprabhu accepted all those processes as external. And then Ramananda Roy told this verse, Gyane prayasam uddapasya namanta eva, jivanti samukaritam bhavadeya vartam. Then, what is that? Stanesita shuti gatam. Shuti gatam tanuvan manobir. Ye prayasho jitajito paishiteshtrilokyam. I haven't tried that verse in a long time, I was forgetting. Gyane prayasam uddapasya, if you completely abandon mental speculation, very difficult, isn't it? Gyane prayasam uddapasya, you completely abandon mental speculation. Already I'm feeling discouraged. Completely abandon mental speculation. Namanta eva, you humbly submit yourself to the sound vibrations coming from pure devotees. Jivanti samukaritam bhavadeya vartam. Jivanti means you can make that your life. In the commentary it's mentioned, even if you're such a useless fellow, that you cannot do anything else but somehow or other maintain your life and simply hear from the pure devotees, then you can achieve the perfection of life. Snanestita, there's no even need to change your position, your social position. I'm sure everyone hears that part very nicely. Snanestita, as you are, you can stay. Very nice. I like that part. Immediately ears, that one goes into the heart. As I am, I remain. That part goes into the heart. The rest of the slok, Gyane prayasam, don't speculate, comes out. Hear from the pure devotees, comes out. Dedicate your life to hearing these vibrations, comes out. Stay as you are, in the heart. It comes to the heart. Stay as you are in your social position. Very nice. If you can stay, that is okay. But, tanuvama no bir, shrutikatam, you dedicate your body, your mind, and your words to hearing, to those vibrations, to surrendering your life to those vibrations, to propagating them. Then you can easily conquer the Lord, who is otherwise not conquerable. That means by hearing you'll develop pure love of God, and then the Lord will reciprocate with that pure love of God. So many verses are coming to my mind now. I cannot go through all of them. I have many to go through, but I don't want to bore you. So let's see which ones we shall mention. In the second canto, these are some of my favorite verses about hearing. So that's the ones that I selected, the verses that I particularly like. In the second canto of Bhagavatam, this is also second canto, Parikshit Maharaj is glorifying the process of hearing. He says, Pravishta Kanaranjena Swadnam Bhavasororuham Dunoti Shamalam Krishna Salayasya Yatasharat. That Pravishta Kanaranjena, that sound incarnation, Srimad Bhagavatam, shall enter into the air, if it shall enter into the air somehow or other, and then into the heart. Swanam, Bhavasororuham, that sound incarnation sits, such bad body posture, sits on the lotus heart of the devotee's bhava. Bhavasororuham, Swanam Bhavasororuham sits, means the sound incarnation sits on the lotus heart of the devotee's ecstatic love for Krishna, bhava. He sits there and he kicks out, Dunoti Shamalam Krishna. Krishna kicks out all the shamalam, lust, anger, greed, etc. Krishna has a very powerful foot. A very powerful foot. When Ravana, as Vamana Dev, when Vamana Dev was the gatekeeper for, who is that? Bali Maharaj. And which hellish planet? They call it a hellish planet, but it's like a very opulent place. Sutala, is it? One lower planetary system. Vamana Dev was the doorkeeper for Bali Maharaj. So when Ravana was going on his conquest, Ravana was doing conquest, so he came to the place of Bali Maharaj to conquer that place. And Vamana Dev was sitting there, can I help you? And he looks like I was going to use the word, maybe this is not politically correct, like a midget, I'm thinking Ravana's mentality. Oh, what is this midget going to do, He's thinking, in Vamana Dev, can I help you? Ravana was like, move aside, I'm going to conquer this place. And then he went to conquer this place, and Vamana Dev kicked him, and he went flying like throughout the cosmos, He just gave one kick, and then Ravana went flying. So he said, that place I don't want to conquer. For obvious reasons, because Vamana Dev's foot was there. Vamana Dev's toe was very powerful. Vamana Dev's toe pierced a hole in the universe, and the waters from the causal ocean came flowing through the cosmos. That was Mother Ganga. Mother Ganga came through. So Vamana Dev, what is bigger? His foot, his toe. His toe is very powerful. So the sound incarnation of Krishna Bhagavatam also has powerful toes, powerful feet. That sound incarnation sits in the heart and he kicks out lust, anger, greed, all these unwanted things that are stifling the devotee's ecstatic relationship with Krishna. He kicks them out, and then the devotee's ecstatic relationship can evolve. And then an example is Salilas Yatashara, just like autumn rains on pools of muddy water. Apparently in India, I have not seen, but we take it for granted from hearing process, that when there's dirty waters there, during the rainy season, all the dirt comes to the surface. But in the autumn season, it's just like a light drizzle is there, and all the dirt becomes settled at the bottom. So that example is given in the Bhagavad Saliyasya Yatashara. Just like autumnal rains on pools of muddy water dissipate the dirt. In the same way, hearing about Krishna, really hearing about Krishna will dissipate the anartha. Shamalam Krishna. Krishna's powerful toes, Bhagavatam's powerful toes shall kick out such unwanted things in the heart, and one's bhava will easily become manifest. That's a nice verse, isn't it? Ramapad Maharaj in Gita Nagari last year, he said, I'm surprised this shloka has not made it into Prabhupada's shloka book. He commented about this verse because he did a class on this verse. Last year or 2 years ago he did when I was there. He said, I'm surprised this verse did not make it into the Prabhupada shloka book. And I was like, I am also surprised because it's a beautiful verse. That's a really beautiful verse. So then in the Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, Tvam Bhakti Yoga Paribhavrita Hirisaroja. These are good verses to remember for the hearing process. This one is really powerful. Whoa, what happened to my bookmark? This is 3.9.11. Tvam Bhakti Yoga Paribhavita Hirisaroja. Ase Shrutek Shritapato Nanunata Pumsam. So it says that for those who are Bhakti Yoga Paribhavita means, Paribhavita means 24 hours engaged in devotional service. Devotional service is not a part-time job. It is full devotional service. Those who will be thinking about dovetailing forever and ever and ever, they should understand that is not Paribhavita. That is not surrender. The purpose of the Krishna consciousness is not dovetailing everything into Krishna's. I have some particular desires for sense gratification, and Krishna's movement is very broad, and I just plug in somewhere. Actually, that is cheating process. That is also another type of cheating. Like I said, without full surrender, it is no bhakti at all. That dovetailing program is meant to get a foothold because we are attached, but it's not meant for us to rot in the conception of dovetailing for the rest of our Krishna conscious career. So we have to become Bhakti Yoga Paribhavita, fully 24 hours engaged in Krishna service, Hrit Saroja. So same languages come. So Krishna will sit on the lotus heart of a devotee and clean out everything in his heart. Ase Shrutek Shritapato. Shrute Ikshitapato means the path of seeing God through the ears. By the path of seeing God through Shruta, through hearing about Him. As we've already said, as one hears more and more about Krishna, then the consciousness becomes purified. Tata tata paschati vastu shukshman. And then he'll be able to see Krishna face to face. Just as when there's some disease in the eye, if the disease in the eye is removed, then you can see so many things nicely. In the same way, there's the disease of material desires covering our spiritual eyes. Therefore, we only see matter. When we see the deity, what do we see? We see marble. Anyone here sees more than marble? Don't lie. Everyone sees marble, don't lie. We can look starry-eyed at the deities, but we know very well that we are seeing nothing but marble, stone, rock. How many of you see Nrsingadev when you see the Tadiya? There's a Tadiya there was given by Sheshaka Prabhu when he was serving here. How many of you see Nrsingadev? We see a rock with a smiling face on it. Devotees put a smiling face of Chandan. That's saying rock. Because to see God, not like we have diseased eyes. Our spiritual eyes are diseased, covered over by the dirt of material existence. So the more we shall increase our hearing, chanting about Krishna, the more we shall gain that vision. And then it's mentioned here, Yaya diya ta urugaya vibhavayanti tat vapur pranayase sadanugrahaya. Out of mercy, sadanugrahaya, out of mercy for them, your devotees who are progressively on the path of seeing you through the ears, through the process of hearing, then you manifest a form in which they always think of you. That's mentioned here. Prabhupada's purport to this is extremely, extremely sweet, like sugar candy, rock candy. Even if you have jaundice, you can appreciate the sweetness of it. Even if jaundice of ignorance is there. I cannot read now. There is no time. There's many shlokas in this book. I think this is the section which Dravida Prabhu called the Krishna Katashtakam. He was telling us about Sadhu Sangashtakam and Krishna Katashtakam. So I think this is the section he was mentioning about Krishna Katashtakam. It's very nice verses are here. I won't read the Sanskrit, but the Sanskrit has many nuances. It's very nice. Well, time has run out. I have 2 more points to make. Maybe I'll just read some of the verses. So if you want to know if you're hearing nicely, so this will give some tests. How am I hearing? This is a test in Krishna consciousness. How much am I hearing nicely about Krishna? So I'll just read the translations. The Sanskrit is very nice, but no time. So translation, when people properly glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sankirtan, or simply hear about His powers, Shuta Anubhava, simply hear about His powers, the Lord personally enters their hearts and cleanses away every trace of misfortune. That's very sweet. Just as the sun removes the darkness, or as a powerful wind drives away the clouds. Isn't that sweet? No, you're not appreciating. Next verse. Words that do not describe the transcendental personality of Godhead, but instead deal with temporary matters, are simply false and useless. Only those words that manifest the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord are actually truthful, auspicious, and pious. There's a lot that could be said about this verse. There's no time, though. We have no... Now, this verse is very nice. This one is a really good verse. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. Those words describing the glories of the all-famous personality of Godhead, Yad Uttama Shloka Yasho, Anugiyate, singing. Those words are just singing, glorifying the Lord. They are 3 things. Ramyam, they are attractive. Ruchiram, they are tasty. Ruchiram, they are tasty. Anyone getting nice taste? Feeling nice taste is coming? Tongue, is it palatable? Nice taste is there. Ramyam, attractive. Ruchiram, tasty. Navam, and ever fresh. Tadeva Shashwan Manaso Mahotsavan. This one. Indeed, such words are a perpetual festival for the mind. Maha Utsava. Manaso Maha Utsavam is a perpetual festival for the mind. Mind is having festival, hearing. Tadeva Shoka Arnava Shoshanam, and it dries up the ocean of lamentation. Shoka. Anyway, so many nice slokas are there. There are many more, but I cannot cover all of them. I wanted to make this last point. So the glories of hearing in the Bhagavatam are so much mentioned. Still, we don't have any taste. There are several reasons for that. One reason is, in order for the hearing process to be actually effective, then two things are required. A bona fide speaker and a bona fide hearer. Both. Even if the speaker is bona fide, if the hearers are not bona fide, then it doesn't work out. So the speaker, we hear about the qualifications of the speakers all the time. I'll not focus so much on that at present. Mostly we have to hear, so we can mention about what does it mean to be a bona fide hearer. The main quality for a bona fide hearer is his adarat, means regard for the speaker. Regard for the subject matter and regard for the speaker. In the beginning of the Bhagavatam, it says that the sages set Sutta Goswami down on the seat of Vyasa's son, adarat, with great respect and regard. So to hear effectively, the regard is required. You need proper regard. What does it mean to have proper regard for the speaker, for Guru, particularly from Guru, hearing from Guru? What does it mean to have proper regard? Krishna is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Acharya mami janayan, navamanyete karichit, na martya buddhasuyeta, sarvadeva mayo guru. What does it mean to have proper regard for the Guru? Acharya mami janayan, you see him as manifestation of Krishna. Krishna directly manifests as Acharya. Krishna said, Acharya mami janayan, know the Acharya is myself. Know he is myself. Navamanyeta karichit, not at any time you should be envious of him. Feel some bad feeling towards him. Martya buddhya means never you should see him as ordinary person. Martya buddhya. You should see, thinking he is ordinary individual. And as a result of thinking that, asuyeta, becoming envious of him. Thinking he's ordinary conditioned soul like me. Sarvadeva mayo guru, knowing him to be the repository of all the devas. If one has that regard for Guru and Vaishnavas, then he can hear. Krishnadas Kaviraj has taught us that the Guru and Vaishnavas are part of the constituency that makes up the absolute truth. He mentions 6. God, Shakti, Prakash, Avatar, Guru, and Bhakta. 6. When Mahaprabhu manifests himself, these other 5 constituencies manifest automatically. That means, and when they are manifest, that means God is manifest. They are non-different. They're part of the constituent of the absolute truth. So only if one has that regard can they actually hear effectively. One's hearing cannot be absolute unless they have an absolute vision of the person they're hearing from. Absolute vision. There will be no question of absolute hearing. Therefore, the hearing process will not be effective. The one can go on hearing for a long time. It's not that it's not effective. Some purification you get in the form of gyata sukriti. There's a gyata sukriti and there's gyata sukriti. You know you're doing something good for you, devotional service. You get some benefit, but you don't get the full benefit. Why the Maha Utsavam is not happening in the mind? Anyone saying like that? Maha Utsavam happening in the mind? Big Ratha Yatra festival happening in the mind. Janmashtami happening in the mind. Anything like that? Only thing happening in the mind, Nidra Devi coming. And she's taking up all the seats in the mind. All seats occupied. Occupied movement. Nidra Devi. Why not coming? Because we're not able to hear effectively because the regard is not an absolute regard. Therefore, we cannot absolutely hear. We cannot hear on the absolute platform, spiritual life. Not possible. So therefore, Sanatana Goswami and his Mangala Charana, Briha Bhagavatamrita, these are a couple of verses I learned a few weeks back just for chanting. I thought some nice prayers to learn. One prayer he says, Jayati Jayati Nama Nanda Rupamurare Viramita Nitra Dharma Dhyana Puja Diyatnam Katamampi Sakridatam Muktidam Praninam Yat Paramam Amritam Ekam Jivanam Bhushaname. So he's praying to the holy name of Krishna. Jayati Jayati. For this point, because it's very hard to find both bona fide hearer and bona fide speaker. It's both to find both in the same arena. Both hard to find both. Very difficult to find both. Very rare occasion when a bona fide speaker and hearer are in the same arena. Not such easy thing to find. So Sanatana Goswami is praying, Jayati Jayati Nama Nanda Rupam. All glories to this holy name of Krishna. the holy name of Murari, which is, the name of Murari is Ananda Rupam. It is the form of ecstatic bliss. If anyone is chanting the real holy name of Krishna, they'll feel totally blissful. That is a fact. Ananda Buddhivardhanam, ever-expanding ocean of bliss. Then he said, Viramita Nija Dharma Dana Pujadi Yatnam. If anyone throws out Nija Dharma, Varnashram Dharma, throws it out the window. Sears Tower, throw it out. Sanatana Goswami is saying, I'm not saying. He throws out this, we can qualify it by saying materialistic Varnashram. Throws out materialistic Varnashram. Jnana throws out the yoga process. Puja throws out worship of the deity. There's so much qualification required for deity worship. We're offering plastic trinkets to the deity. Where's the rubies? Where's the emeralds? Where's the gold? Where are the diamonds? We had one diamond ring for Radha a few years back. One diamond ring, one boy bought, a friend of mine, he bought one diamond ring, necklace for Srimati Radharani. You know how these gates came up? Someone stole that diamond necklace. Maybe 1 week and a half after it was bought, shortly after. It was some speculation if it was an in-house devotee or not, because we had a lot of crookedness going on at that time. So then these gates came up as a result of that. Anyway. So even if you buy nice things for the deity, our temple will be in a danger zone. All these crooks around here in Rogers Park, they come to find out the deity has such nice things. You'll not be able to sleep at night. We have to put so many gates on the doors. Everyone should have gun like this. So we have to offer plastic trinkets so no one's mind will get disturbed. So there's no question of proper deity worship. And then Siddhartha Goswami said something very interesting. Adi. And he said, Adi means in other forms of devotional service. Other forms of devotional service. They are also very hard to work. And then in the commentaries explain, even there are so many obstacles in the other forms of devotional service. And remembering Krishna, some people want to practice remembrance of Krishna, Ashtakali Alila, and all these things. That is impossible. You simply think of illicit sex. No doubt about it. The purity of mind that's required, very difficult. And in the hearing process, as I'm mentioning, because it's very hard for us to have an absolute conception of Vaishnavas and Guru. We are always wanting to subordinate them to our intelligence. And because often we're hearing from many sadhakas, practicing devotees, and we spend most of our time maybe hearing from practicing devotees, and we definitely don't have an absolute conception of them, so that becomes a pervasive thing. So then anyone we hear from, we think we can subordinate them to our intelligence. Therefore, we cannot hear at all. Therefore, Sanatana Goswami says, chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This Hare Krishna is very important. Katamapi sakridatam muktidam praninam. If even one time chants the real holy name of Krishna, he will certainly be delivered. Muktidam praninam, that person will certainly be delivered. Paramam amritam ekam jivanam bhushaname. Therefore, this holy name is the supreme nectar. Paramam amritam ekam jivanam. Eka jivanam. It is my only source of life. Jivanam bhushaname, and my only ornament. This holy name of Krishna. He glorifies the holy name in that way. There are so many more things I thought I would be able to say, but I'm not able to say. Class is already over. If anyone wants to say anything further, ask anything, I have about 2 minutes, and then class is finished. Yeah.
Gets in the way of our taste, our ruchi.
Yeah, there's no question of taste. There's offensive chanting like elephant bath. You chant Hare Krishna and then again put dirt simultaneously. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's just like taking bath in dirty water. Taking bath in dirty water. How is it not benefit? No benefit at all. So, obviously, by offensive chanting, one's taste will evolve. So if one is chanting offensively, then Krishna, the word aparad, in fact, when it broken down, means it takes you away from the pleasure of Srimati Radharani. She would not at all be pleased, because the taste in devotional service is due to progressive influences of internal potency of Krishna. As one is moving closer towards Krishna, then greater influence of the internal potency is taking over his life. At the stage of Bhav Bhakti, is complete control of the internal potency, practically speaking. Almost full sheltered. That means one is fully taken, fully sheltered by the internal potency of Krishna. So one's taste evolves as he's moving closer to the fire. And just as you move closer to the fire, the body heats up. As one is moving closer to the internal potency of Krishna, then one's taste evolves for Krishna consciousness. And aparada means when it takes you away from that fire. You kick out, oh, aparadi. I don't want to have anything, I don't want to touch that. Dangerous thing. So particularly sadhu ninda, that one is the most vicious, because especially if you live with devotees, and tendency is to make offense because of familiarity. It's probably unavoidable, to be real with you. It's probably unavoidable. And even if we don't do anything externally we may be acting nice, but in the heart, finding so many faults with Vaishnavas. That's a fact. Krishna will not at all be pleased with that. It's duplicity. So definitely we have our work cut out for us, even as we come to the shelter of devotional service. Even if you are very nice bhakta, you very nicely deal with the jivas externally, but in the heart finding so much fault with them, then Krishna will not all be pleased. Thinking, oh, they're supposed to be of this character, that caliber, why they're doing like this, right? Of course, this is why it's tough to be a manager, because your business is to find fault also, in order to improve the situation. At the same time, you can become offensive. So that is a very tough job. Therefore, qualified persons should take up. Many persons cannot remain in that position because they commit offenses. Usually it happens they may commit offenses. Very razor sharp edge. Sadhu Ninda, if one cannot give up Sadhu Ninda, there's no question of developing Krishna consciousness. No question. Krishna, not all, you in the spiritual world, all Vaishnavas walking around. So if you have a problem with Vaishnavas, it's not possible to go to the spiritual world. Mahaprabhu will never accept. He'll never accept. That's the way I've learned it. And when we were in Gita Nagri, the Jewels of Gaur Leela seminar, Srila Radhanath Maharaj did one song from Bhaktivinoda Thakur glorifying Mahaprabhu. And in the song, there was 2 places where there was lines talking about duplicitous devotional service. So in those 2 places, he made us repeat that. He said, can everyone repeat after me? And then it was about duplicitous devotional service. And then there was one line that was very nice, one who can taste the nectar of... So we repeated that also. He said, you don't have to repeat that. It was like a very nice thing, you know. He said, you don't have to repeat that. And then in the next line, it was talking about duplicitous devotional service. He said, everyone repeat after me. So he was like putting emphasis on this point. Mahaprabhu does not like duplicity. In fact, in NOI 5, Srila Prabhupada says that anyone who is not chanting 64 rounds, my spiritual master consider fallen. But if they take shelter of Mahaprabhu without duplicity, that Mahaprabhu will certainly accept them. So, but that without duplicity is no small point to conquer over. No small point. Simply associating very nicely with the Vaishnavas, but inside finding fault with them, making long lists of faults, and then not able to hear from them, not able to appreciate what they are saying. They're very difficult, no doubt. Therefore, take shelter of Harinam. Even if you're chanting a little offensively, stop it. By trying to take shelter of Vaishnavas. And it is mentioned, if you're really getting the mercy of Krishna, if you really get the mercy of the Holy Name of Krishna, He will help us to recognize a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava has nothing to do with this external thing. It's mostly the sincerity of heart. There may certainly be faults. Those who are surrendered to Krishna, it is not that they immediately develop all good qualities. It is mentioned by all our acharyas. If they're Krishna Ekasharanam is the main thing. They are surrendered to Krishna. And because of residual effects of anarthas and so on, all the good qualities may not immediately manifest themselves. They have to make progress. But that one quality should be visible, should be seen. They are surrendered. They are dedicating themselves to Krishna. An ocean of faults are there, but if they're chanting Hare Krishna, seriously, then one's supposed to try to appreciate that quality of a devotee. By the mercy of the Holy Name of Krishna, if we sincerely try, then Krishna will mercifully allow us to recognize sadhus. We can give up our ninda, sadhu ninda. We can move forward, Namabhas platform. Pure chanting. Hare Krishna. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.